Bonjour mes amis, and welcome back to our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode. And no, I don't speak French, but that's pretty much the extent of it. So anyways, in last episode of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode, we basically just went over our roster, went over our coaching staff. I showed you guys the draft class a bit, all that type of stuff. I didn't actually show you guys the lines that they had set for us, so I'm going to do that now. And then also I think I might make some roster moves to change up our lines a bit, because there is some guys in the minors that are technically could play on our fourth line, like Charles Hudon. So yeah, I think I'm going to make some changes. Let's just take a look at who doesn't fit the system that well. So currently, well actually, the bottom six is actually pretty good for fitting the system, so I might not call up some of those guys. Because it doesn't really matter about overalls, it matters about if they could fit the system. Like Nate Thompson's a pretty good player for that fourth line apparently, even though he's a 75. Yeah, I might not make changes, but I might make some changes to the top six lineup, because Tatar and Domi, both of those guys don't seem to fit their lines that well. Gallagher as well, and Byron. So let's try and flip them and see if that works better. Yeah, that definitely works a lot better. So Byron's going to go to the top line. Even though a lot of you guys probably like Max Domi is going to the second line because he's a better fit with Kotkaniemi. And then Gallagher and Tatar, that also makes a good change for Tatar and for Gallagher. So that's actually a pretty good change for our top six. Anything that we could do to change up our third line, because our third line has our cycle shoe buys on all three of them are not that good. No, I'll just leave it like that. It's not that bad. And then defensively, let's see if there's anybody that we don't want to take out. Everybody looks pretty good. I might, though, want to call up Noah Juleson at some point, because Mike Riley, he's good, but Noah Juleson is pretty much ready. And then also Xavier Let's down here. But I might just leave Juleson down here for the year so he gets more growth, and then the next off season or next season we will call him up or something. And then maybe Mike Riley leaves. How long is he signed for? 2 years. Yeah, or he might get moved out. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Ben Sherratt's a part of a trade at a deadline or something like that, because we're gonna definitely probably make a trade this year, just because we should be missing the playoffs, I think. But who knows? Charlie Lindgren, I don't really need him up here in the NHL because there's not a lot of goalie injuries always, and the computer automatically assigns that. So yeah, we're gonna send down Charlie Lindgren quickly. And also, this episode, I wanted just to apologize. It might be long because I'm still getting used to some of the new things in franchise modes. So yeah, Charlie Lindgren is gonna go down to the minors, just because I would rather keep in Keith Kincaid, because he's a better overall, and he actually has a leader attribute for morale, I think I checked. So Michael McNiven and Lecube is going to get out of the lineup, and we're going to put in Lindgren down there. Okay, so I think the AI is going to automatically call up players from the AHL team for the preseason, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. So they'll probably do that shortly. So I did actually reassign the scouts, though, off of the camera. So last time I decided to just put them all to specific, or not specific, to just a generalization of the entire league. But I found a way that's better to scout, which you actually just scout potential in comparison for each player that's supposed to go in the draft. And then also there is once they're done scouting, you assign them for skills, whatever their skills are and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna do something like that as well. I might not let these guys scout out their full 300 days, because that's a pretty long time for them to scout. That's almost the entire, yeah, that's more than the entire season is. So anyways, let's get started with the simulation. I think if we have to, we might make some changes to the lineup. Like I said, calling up Noah Juleson might be something that we do. If you guys are into that, we also might eventually call up somebody like Charles Hudon. So let's get this preseason done. We'll see how we perform. Hopefully we have a pretty good preseason. Okay, so maximum salary cap 81.5. Yeah, okay. Not too bad. So, wait, who was this that I offered a contract to? Oh yeah, I offered, I think, a contract to a scout, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I did. To 2 scouts. So we're gonna get those scouts. And we're gonna assign those guys quickly because I forgot I even like offered scouts contracts. We'll auto assign the promotion nights just because I don't really do that often, and I don't really use owner mode, but we're gonna still do it anyways. So let's see, assign scouts. So our new scouts that we got were Tervanen and Hedikin. So Hedikin was for USA Central. No, he was not. Where was he for? Because we already have a USA Central scouts. So it must have been somewhere. Oh wait, maybe it was USA West or East. Yeah, it was USA East, I think. Yep, it was definitely USA East because we did not have one. So Hedikin, we are going to have to remove you from that region and move you over to the USA East. Yeah, this episode might be a bit long just because like seasons take a lot longer when you have to do like all this other stuff like coaching and whatnot. So yeah, USA East is where you will go, Mr. Hedikin. And then we also have, who else? What's the other dude's name again? Oh yeah, Tervanen. He's for the Extraliga, is that right? Yeah, that is right. So he's in his right spot. So we're going to assign him to specific players. And what I was mentioning earlier is we're going to change this to potential comparison for all the guys that are draft eligible. We'll scout that for like multiple times over, and then eventually we'll go to like skills and all that sort of thing. So that way we can kind of find out more about the players. And then near the draft we'll have also our interviews and whatnot, so that will help us out find like maybe some players that are better suited for our team's needs and whatnot. So yeah, let's get the rest of this preseason done just because those scouts kind of took a little bit of time. I don't know how far we're going to get in this episode. I feel like we might go only till like December or something like that. Like I would like to have the trade deadline next Friday and not on Monday, because Monday I normally have to pre-record Monday episodes, but I might not this week, so you guys actually will be able to give me some feedback for trades and stuff like that over the weekend. And then on Monday I'll record the episode before I have to go to class, and then I'll upload it after I get home from school. So 4-3 in the preseason. Who led us in points in that preseason? Jonathan Drouin, 8 points in 7 games. Pretty good. Hopefully he continues to do that during the regular season. So let's go to the first game of the regular season. Just make sure our lines are still the same, because I know the scout, like when, or not the scout, the coach, when there's an injury, they like to, for some reason, like reassign the lines and all that stuff, and then they don't even notify you when there's an injury now because of the coach being in there. So like I have no idea when players go down, and then the lines get shuffled around, and it's kind of annoying, but whatever. So our lines stayed the same. That's good. So we actually have a pretty good line system, because like our line chemistry on the top 6 is +1, our fourth line is +1. It's just our third line that's not the greatest right now, but it's what it is. Defensively we're all +1, and then goalies don't have chemistry. So yeah, our team is looking pretty good if they could stay healthy, I think, for chemistry at least, and fitting within this coach's system too. So let's go 2 weeks. Just to make sure all those scouts are still assigned to the right locations. So we'll go all the way up to this game against Tampa Bay. See how we perform in our first 5 games. So Noel Juulsen's already been injured in the minors. Oh, now it's actually telling me when the injuries happen. So yeah, I'll let head coach replace player, but damn, that's not a good way to start off for Juulsen. And we win our first game in a shutout and lose the second game in OT. Not a bad start, really. 2-1-1 and 2-2-1, and Juulsen's already back. So, that's not good that Juulsen's already getting injured. I don't know if he's an injury-prone player in like real life and whatnot, or what. Maybe he just randomly got injured in the first game of the season. Yeah, he's a pretty strong guy too. So he doesn't have the greatest weight though. 6'1", 174. So maybe just because he's like that, not that high of a weight class, he's injured easier. I don't know. Let's just make sure those scouts are still assigned, because we got to make sure they're actually scouting things, because if they're not, then we're not going to find any good prospects. And actually, 1 second before we get into that, I want to show you guys the draft class for a second again, because I think I'm going to be going after a right winger depending on where we finish in the standings, because I really wouldn't mind getting a player for the right wing, because we're not really strong on the right side, because we only have like Brendan Gallagher as a right winger, and I forget who else is a right winger. But I was thinking maybe if we finish really low, we get like somebody like Lucas Raymond or Alexander Holtz. And then if we fall to like 11th instead, we could get like Nikita Bure or this Oleg Koltsov guy or Alan Gibbons. Just because there's a decent amount of right wingers for the first round, and we do need a right winger. So I think one of those guys might be the best fit for our team. Let me know what you guys think, because I think we might pick up one of those guys for sure at the draft. Okay, we're already 10 minutes in, and I've not even finished a single month, so let's go to the end of the month. I was actually going to sign the scouts again just to make sure, but we'll go to the end of this month. And Brendan Gallagher has been injured, so let's go actually replace the player with who's going to fit that line better. Is our depth guy. I don't think we have really a good depth guy. Matthew Pekka. I almost said Michael Pekka. And he actually fits that line perfectly, so Michael Pekka is a good guy to replace the top 6, apparently. Even though he's a really bad overall player, he's the perfect fit here. We're just going to put him in all the lines, even if he doesn't really fit them that well. Because like I said, if we play bad this year, we're going to get a good prospect into this organization. And that's really what we need, I think. Because I'm not making players like Cole Caulfield. I'm not making players like Caden Primo. I know I got asked that about like that in the first episode, but I don't really have the time to make those players, because if you guys have been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know that I'm working on a 1994 roster build. I've already done like 5 teams within like literally a week, so I'm kind of grinding that out pretty hard, and I would prefer to do that over like making current prospects and whatnot. So a third and Christian Fulham for a third, no thank you. But if we're playing really bad by the deadline, I'm going to probably make a few trades, like offload 1-year contracts or something. We are 2-5-3, which is not the greatest, and now Max Domi's been injured. Okay, this is really bugging me, these injuries. We're just going to put Christian Fulham in that spot. I don't really care. But let me just take a look at why our injuries are hitting us so hard. Like, did I have the injury slider up still too high? Because I thought I turned it down. Unless it's just what happened in year number 1, because I did like a test run and I never had these injury problems. So let's actually go to settings just quickly, because I want to make sure the injuries are not off the charts. Because if they're at 50, that's probably why. No, they're at 10. Okay, let's set it back down to 9, because 9 is usually where the happy medium is, I find. 10 is still a bit too much. So yeah, EA still needs to fix those injury problems where teams get bombarded with injuries at a certain time. So we're 2-6-3, which is not the greatest at all, and Max Domi, who is our leading point man, is now out with an injury. Won't get the play against his former team. Okay, so let's go right to the end of this month, and then we're going to check and make sure our scouts are still doing their job. A third, and a 7th for a 2nd, no thank you. So basically we just move up like a round. Max Domi is back, that is good news. So Christian Fulham, how are you actually playing on that line? He's actually not a horrible fit. Like, he has 2 red, but he's not a horrible fit for that line, which is kind of weird because he's a defenseman. So there you go, Domi back in the lineup. And yeah, we're not playing the greatest at all. 2-8-3. Hopefully we can kind of turn it around a bit, because I think we're still listed as hopeful. So okay, yeah, sign scout, that's what I was going to go to. Already at 14 minutes this episode, depending on if I made any cuts or not. Okay, scouting specific players for USA Central. There's not a lot of USA Central players at this draft, so we're going to scout their skills assessment this time around. And there you go. Not a lot of guys at all. And then USA East. Oh yeah, the USA East guy hasn't been scouting at all yet. We're going to get him to scout now, because I almost forgot to assign him since he was moving over from USA Central. NLA prospects, I don't think there was a lot of those either. 3 of them. Let's do a skills assessment on those guys. There you go. Yeah, these season simulation episodes might take a bit longer now, because I'm actually manual scouting. Because if you guys remember last year, I was doing auto scouting, but like apparently manual scouting is a lot better this year. Like you could find gems easier. If you do auto scouting, it doesn't necessarily find you a gem. So let's go right to here, right to the start of the 10th. See if we could get some wins in November. I'd like to at least get to December the 1st, and you're not happy with the team's performance, Shea Weber. Not a surprise. We haven't been that good. I think you need to stay patient and trust the process. The team will turn this around. I do agree that we're not playing the greatest, but I'm not firing our head coach, I don't think, yet. I don't know what Shea's going to suggest if I agree. The persuasion success is convincing, so he's more than likely, I think, going to say, okay, so let's persuade. And I'm willing to trust the process. Okay, thank you, Shea Weber. I appreciate that. So he's not that bad. Like if he, like he said, like he could get really angry if I tried to persuade him, but he's the kind of lenient, like older guy, it seems like. So who was it that's back? Brendan Gallagher. Sorry, Pekka, you're out of the lineup. Even though Pekka's a better fit apparently on that top line than Gallagher is. Cale Fleury's been injured in the minors. That's not good because I think he has potential, if I'm not mistaken, like maybe medium top 6 or top 4. So we have turned it around a bit. We've won 2 in a row. We are now 5-9-3. Okay, so let's go a bit longer. Let's go another 2 weeks, and then we're going to check the scouts again just because, like I said, the scouts need to be doing their job because if they don't do their job, we're not going to be able to find a good prospect at the draft. So, and our AHL team's playing pretty good right now, 10-7-1, despite the injuries that they've had, like Cale Fleury. So Ben Sherrod, a 4th and a 4 for a 3rd and a 4th. Damn, Sherrod's got like no trade value whatsoever, but I mean, that gets rid of that salary, but I'm not going to trade him yet. He is definitely somebody I'm looking to move probably at the deadline, because I could trade Sherrod, just call up Juleson in replacement. I just don't know what I could get for somebody like Ben Sherrod, probably just a pick. I'll probably do like a trade finder at that part, which would probably be in next episode. So, how is the scouts doing? Are they finding people? Or are they still scouting? No, USA Central guys still not scouting because there's not a lot of them to scout. So, do we know the potential of these guys yet? No, we don't. Let's go potential again on those 3 guys. And then our extra Liga guy, Mr. Turbinen, has done his scouting, so we'll get him to scout again. Let's do a skills assessment on all these guys. There you go. And I think that's the only one that didn't. Nope, the NLA guy, because he doesn't have a lot to scout either. That's the only problem with those guys, is they don't have to scout a lot of players, so they finish their assignments like a lot faster than, say, somebody that's doing the OHL or the QMJHL or WHL. Okay, so let's go right to the end of this month. Yeah, I think we're probably going to be close to ending the episode almost already, which is a weird thing to say because it's only been like 18 minutes, but we could probably go to, let's go right till December the 15th, and that's probably where we're going to end it. Next episode will be probably just simming up to the trade deadline, and then I'm going to get you guys to suggest trades for the Friday episode, which is a week from now. You guys could already suggest trades and stuff like that. So another AHL player getting injured. So Jonathan Drouin has something to talk about. I am sorry for how the way I'm playing out there. Oh yeah, I hate this one kind of because, wait, what does Persuade work? Persuade is convincing, so this coach might actually have, or maybe, no, I'm the GM, so I don't think it doesn't make a difference, but we have apparently a good convincing factor. Because like if he's not performing at his best abilities, he's going to ask for like new line mates, or he's going to ask to get any more ice time. So I'm going to persuade him again because I have good convincing, it looks like. Oh no, he can't snap out of it. Oh, that means his morale is going to go down. I thought that would work, but apparently it didn't. So he's going to lose 3 morale, which really sucks because he's one of those guys I like to keep around for a bit. Game against the Islanders is a shootout loss. We'll check the draft class probably in a bit. Yeah, we'll go up right till the 15th, and then like I said, next episode we'll be going up to the draft. So Gustav Olofsson back in the lineup instead of, I think it's David Skelanaleka, whatever you pronounce that guy's name is. Olofsson, you're into the lineup. There you go. We also need to somehow get rid of that Alzner contract, so we're going to probably try and trade away Alzner at the deadline. So those are two players I wouldn't mind moving, as Trot and Alzner at the deadline, which wouldn't be next episode, but probably the episode afterwards, so you guys could already suggest potential trades. We'll actually go to the trade finder and see if we could find some potential trades already. So let's take a look at our scouts again quickly, and then we'll take a look at the draft class and all that stuff again. So USA West guys now done. Apparently there's not a lot of prospects in the United States. Let's do a skills assessment on all of them, because there's a decent amount of them. There you go. And then I think that's all. Oh yeah, this NLA guy again, because he has barely any work to do. So we almost got all those guys fully scouted, which means this guy's not going to have to do much more work for the rest of the year. So there you go. Let's take a look at the draft class first, and then we'll take a look at our player stats so far for the season. Pretty much wrap up this episode. So we are getting some guys, which is good. So yeah, Holtz is definitely a medium elite. We already knew that though. He's definitely going to help us out if we get him. Lundell, Lucas Raymond. We knew that all those guys are medium elite all the way up to Cole Perfetti. And then also Lafreniere's like a high elite. I know how that works. Strange, Rossi are like top 6. Bure is looking like he might be a medium elite guy if we keep scouting him out. So that's good. And he's playing pretty good in Russia. Like, this is the type of guy I wouldn't mind bringing in. Like 13 points in 25 games. But if we have a higher up pick, I'm definitely going for somebody else. Did we find any gems yet? Because if we found a gem, that would be nice. We found a bust. There's a high bottom 6 and Ryan Francis, and no gems so far. Okay, so let's take a look at our player stats for the season so far in the NHL, and I guess in the AHL as well. So far in 31 games, or 33 games actually, because 31 for Domi because he missed 2 games, but 26 points for him. Gallagher's got 25, Drouin's got 23, Tatar's got 23, and then there's a big drop off in points. Yeah, see, this is why I really want to move out Shea Weber. Like, I don't know when you guys think we should move out Shea Weber, but he's our -9, and he's only got 12 points in 33 games, and he's got a long-ass contract, too. Pekka had 4 points in 9 games when he was playing on that top line. That's pretty good. How's Carey Price playing? He's actually playing really well. It's just he's not getting the W's. In Cade, that's not doing the greatest. He's 2-7-2 somehow with a 904 and a 2.79. So we're playing good actually in terms of save percentage and goals against, I think, but we're just not winning games. And then let's quickly check the AHL, even though that doesn't matter as much. Yeah, see, Charles Hudon's a perfect guy that could come up into the lineup if we move out somebody. Same with Nick Cousins and Jordan Wheel. Veroni is not that type of player. Suzuki's going to be ready in a couple years. Not too bad. But yeah, Carl Alzner also needs 14 points down there in the AHL. This contract is way too bad. I definitely need to somehow get rid of that. So let's actually do it quickly just to see what kind of trade offers we would be getting for people like Alzner, and also for who was it, Ben Sherratt. We're not going to make a trade with those guys in this episode, but like I said, maybe next episode if you guys think so, or at the trade deadline, because I think we're a team that's definitely missing the playoffs. So let's see. Sort by alphabetical order. So Alzner, can we even find a single trade for him? No, we can't. So apparently we need to change our trading block to find him. So yeah, we might have to find something else, like trade him for like a 7th rounder or something. I don't know. He's definitely a hard player to move out with that low value as well. And then Ben Sherratt, there's probably more offers for him. So yeah, we found 6 trades, so we would be able to get a 3rd and a 5th back from Calgary, which is pretty good. 2 4ths from Colorado, a 3rd in Camano from Dallas. I don't know who Camano is. 2 4ths from LA, a 3rd and a 4th from Nashville, and a 3rd from San Jose. So I think that one of those trades definitely would help us, like all these picks, because we are a kind of a team that needs more picks than current players. So we might trade away somebody like Sherratt at the draft, or not at the draft, maybe even a draft. I don't know. We'll trade him away eventually. So yeah, anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode. So in next episode, we will sim up to the trade deadline. We might make a few trades before the trade deadline if you guys think we should do so. So go nuts in the comments and let me know what you guys think we should do. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.